Today I want to talk about how the woods or wilderness has become a part of my prayer closet. And what that means is essentially, as a Christian, I love to spend time with God. I love to spend time praying and in His Word and talking to Him. And I make it a point every single morning to do so, and throughout the day to do so. It's not just like I only talk in the morning. But that being said, being in the woods and being now, let me backtrack a little. If you haven't been following the channel, I have in the past couple of years tremendously dove deep into hunting and homesteading and hunting and farming and all that stuff. But hunting has become one of my strongest passions. I think about it all the time. It's something I truly enjoy on many aspects of it, and I think we'll go and make a different video of why and the facets behind that. But one thing I wanted to just talk about that I think is a really cool point is this, to some degree, the spiritual aspect and how I invite God into that moment and what that looks like. We live in a world where, and I don't want to just like poo-poo the world in the sense of like we everybody's talking about the dopamine hits and everybody's on their phone and everybody's stuck to the TV and everybody's stuck to the news. I totally agree with all that, but like I'm sick of all the negativity, even in general, even if I agree with it. But that being said, one of the beautiful things about being in nature, being in the woods, being in wilderness is it's quiet. Now granted, I do a lot of hunting I'm in suburbia essentially. I live on Long Island. The majority of my hunting is on Long Island. You could be on a 300-acre plot and you can still hear. In fact, my dad and I went hunting up in the Adirondacks recently, the Catskills. Sorry, not the Adirondacks. And we were several miles into the woods and you could still hear leaf blowers going from wherever they were coming from. So that being said, I hunt in suburbia, so it's not like true like middle America quiet, but it is significantly quieter at 5 o'clock in the morning. All you hear is actually at that point all you hear is literally owls going like whoo whoo. And as the nature starts to wake up, and it's such an incredible feeling because you watch it. You literally watch nature wake up. It starts, then the birds start chirping, and then you start to hear movement, which you might think is a deer, but typically all movement that you hear are squirrels. But you get to watch nature wake up, and you get to experience it and just see the beauty. Particularly, I really love the fall, the foliage, seeing all the leaves on the ground and seeing all the leaves change on the trees. But then also as it starts to get colder and the snow comes, it's such a beautiful sight. And what I mean by becoming one of my prayer closets is like, I know that when I go, I try to be very intentional about, like, I have a young family, so my wife does not want me to leave my phone in the car. I would love to leave my phone in the car, leave all distractions, but like I have a young family, there's things that God forbid could go wrong, so she wants to be able to contact me. I understand that. But I make it a point to not be on my phone and try my best to. Sometimes the pull is hard sometimes. But to be and to talk to God and to quiet, it's extended periods of quiet, even if you're only out there for 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe you're just doing a morning hunt or something like that, from like 6 to 9 or something like that. Or honestly, I did a lot of like 5 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. or 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. depending on when sun rises, because my wife would go to the gym at 8:30 and like that was just me getting it in. And honestly, I've had success with that. It's incredible. But it's just this neurologically slowing your mind down and being, to be honest, it feels almost, as crazy as it sounds, it feels almost like I feel a little bit more connected to the Bible and the biblical times of when life was kind of more like this and significantly slower and connected to nature, and just being able to talk to God. And I got to tell you, man, I even in the moments when I draw on that animal and I'm about to take that shot and I see the animal coming in, it's innate in me. It just start praying like, God, come on, let this be, like, if this is your will, please. But one of my biggest prayers is like essentially like a form of the hunter's prayer. Let it be a good I don't want to take the shot and it injure the animal. Let it be a clean shot. Let it be let if it's your will, please let it just be a clean shot. I don't want essentially like that. And like, come on, like, God, like, let this be your will. All this pride, as it's innate, comes out. I get, and then if I have the success of harvesting an animal, the profound reverence that comes with that, in the sense of like knowing that you did just take a life. And it's funny how there is, to some degree, if you're a hunter you understand this, but if you're not, there's a bit of judgment of how could you take a life of another animal. But then a lot of people eat meat, and it's almost like this, like, hypocritical way of thinking in the sense of like, but you didn't actually take it by your hand, but you let somebody else do it, and you're reaping the benefits of it. And look, if you want to do that, that's your choice. But like, it's funny how people judge us for wanting to actually do it ourselves and being in control of the situation and knowing where the food came from and all these aspects. But there was a profound reverence of like, wow, this was at my hands, and now you don't want any of the animal to go to waste. You completely change how you perceive food and the way we consume food and everything like that. But then also like, wow, thank you, God, for this opportunity. Thank you, God, for this animal's life was taken. That you gave us dominion over these animals, and just inviting God into every aspect of this hunts, and it's just a great way to feel closer and feel quieter. Quiet's the soul, man. It's such an important part of my life at this point. In fact, like to mitigate because look, sometimes it gets real. I'm not just trying to glorify it, because like sometimes it gets really boring out there, and you're sitting out there for 3 hours, and it's brick cold out there, and you haven't even seen a squirrel, and it's like, what am I doing? You're rethinking all of your life decisions, right? And that's when like the temptation of like just scrolling through anything, whether it be ChatGPT or whether it be Instagram or whether it be doing work. Sometimes I feel guilty that I'm in the woods and not working, so sometimes like I have to fight that urge of like not messaging people or sending emails and blah blah blah. To combat that, just a little side note, and actually I want to I should make a video about this, totally unrelated, but I got the Brick app, where it's like you get this actual brick device. It's a little brick, and you touch your phone to it, and you can set apps that it turns off, and you can only turn them on when you touch it back to the brick. So that's my plan to combat that in the woods. It's like, oh, well, I actually don't even have access to these apps. All I have access to is my phone, like the phone calls. So that's going to be a different video, but because the modern hunter has gotten so distracted, and myself included. There's absolutely no judgment in that, but that's why I just wanted to talk about that, because if you are on the fence about starting to hunt, or going into the woods, foraging for mushrooms or certain things in the woods, or like herbs in the woods, like you can get like with the little garlic that comes up, the wild garlic that comes up, like just foraging, or just honestly just taking hikes, just inviting God, because it's so easy to see him in those moments, because it is the nature, he's all around it, and the beauty that he's created, and just inviting him to every aspect of your life. It's like it's beautiful, and I just wanted to share that. I hope you find that interesting. I'd love to hear your experience or your thoughts. Leave a comment down below, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Hope you have a great day. God bless, and peace out.